Hello there, and welcome to another Green Card Back Star Wars action figure review. If you're watching this video on release date, May the 4th, then a very happy Star Wars Day to you. Today also marks a first for the channel, as we're taking a look at our first non-vintage collection figure, the brand new Star Wars Retro Collection Din Djarin, aka the Mandalorian. This figure is based on Din Djarin as he appeared when he was still the Mando with no name, back in the first few episodes of Season 1. Rather than the silver Beskar armour that we've all gotten used to, this armour was brown, tan, and a lot more beaten up. As much as I like the silver look, this armour will always have a special place in my heart. My love for Star Wars was still pretty bruised when The Mandalorian launched, but from the very first promo image we saw, which showed Din Djarin in this costume, I was intrigued. Things looked kind of promising, and as we now all know, Favreau and Filoni did not disappoint. And here's the moment you've all been waiting for, the Retro Collection Mandalorian off of the card. My first impression is that it's very much a what you see is what you get kind of figure. Mando is in the vintage style neutral pose, with relaxed arms and two gripping hands. The sculpt is well done but basic, with great proportions and subtle creases and details that put me in mind of some of the better figures from the Empire Strikes Back line. The helmet is decent up close, much like Boba Fett's but cleaner and without the rangefinder. Mine has a slight paint chip right on top of his head, which is reminiscent of the scratches on the real vintage figures that I grew up with. I'm not a fan of a vinyl cape, but fortunately it is easy to remove. The figure looks a little slender like this, but in my view it's a much better overall look. Without the cape, you can actually see the details sculpted onto the back of the figure. Imagine for a moment that Hasbro gave this guy a Return of the Jedi style soft goods cape. That would have been a game changer. If you've ever held a vintage Star Wars figure, you'll know what to expect in terms of articulation. The Retro Collection Mandalorian has a swivel neck, swivel shoulders, and swivel hips. Moving on, Mando comes with two accessories, a blaster pistol and his Amban sniper rifle. The blaster pistol is excellent. Small, sleek and sci-fi. It's a bit loose in Mando's left hand, but it fits tightly in his right, and he looks great holding it. The rifle is a solid sculpt and feels very vintage in style. However, given Mando's lack of articulation and straight arms, it looks awful when he holds it by the handle. Where it does work is if he holds it by the stock. It's carrying rather than aiming, but it feels remarkably on character. By applying a little bit of white tack to the rifle, you can stick it onto his back shoulder, much as he carries it in the show. And this is probably how I'll display him. For a size comparison, here he is next to the other vintage Mandalorian, the Retro Collection Boba Fett. And here he is next to his vintage collection counterpart. The Retro Collection Mandalorian isn't a groundbreaking figure. It's simple and it does the absolute bare minimum to qualify as an action figure. But it is charming, and that goes a long way. That's all for today. If you have any questions about the Retro Collection Mandalorian, or if you have it yourself and would like to share your thoughts, then leave a comment down below. Otherwise, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned, because there'll be more Star Wars action figure reviews coming up soon. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.